like this. I know these are kind of weird. So find the exact value of each expression oh wait, sorry, that's not supposed to say that. Slide this over. There we go. Okay, so tangent inverse is on the outside. So whenever tangent inverse is on the outside, you want to think of angles. Okay, so is this angle between the two angles that we can use for tangent? So which two angles are we trapped between for tangent? Negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. So the question becomes, so do you guys agree that we're looking at these two quadrants? Okay, is 3 pi over 4 within those two quadrants? It's not, okay? So what I want you guys to think about is 3 pi over 4 is right here, okay? So if I'm thinking about this, all students take calculus. What do we know about tangent in quadrant 2? It's negative. So I need an angle in these two quadrants that's going to give me the same tangent value as 3 pi over 4. So if tangent's negative here, which of these quadrants is tangent also negative? Quadrant 4. What's the angle in this quadrant that's going to give me the same value that's also between these two angles? 7 pi over 4, but I need it to be a negative. So instead of 7 pi over 4, do you guys agree instead of 7 pi over 4, I could just say negative pi over 4? It's the same thing, okay? So negative pi over 4 is right there. So theta is equal to negative pi over 4. If you ask your calculator this, it would tell you this answer in degrees, which is what? Negative 45 degrees, okay? What happened?
I was taking out the sticky note and it kind of tore. And so...
Did it still print okay?
No, I didn't print it because I wasn't sure if you wanted me to... Like, I just didn't know what it is, right? I just printed the rest, but I didn't print that one.
Okay. I can print a new one. All right, B. Okay. Is this angle on my unit circle that I'm used to seeing? No? Okay, but just let's do some quick thinking. Is this a very large angle? No. What's pi in degrees? 180. 180 divided by 5, guys, is that going to be very big? Do you guys know what that is? Here, let's do some quick math. What's how do I do this? Like, I can do it in my head pretty quick, but to divide something by 5, divided by 2, divided by 10, and then multiply by 2. What's 180 divided by 10? 18. What's 18 times 2? 36. So this is the same thing as 36 degrees. Okay, which quadrant is 36 degrees? Do you guys agree quadrant 1? Because 36 degrees maybe like something like that. Okay, is that within my highlighted area? So because it is within my highlighted area, we like that because that means that I really don't have to do any extra thinking. What am I allowed to do then? Just cancel them. So this cancels. So it's going to be pi over 5. All right, C. So what's different here is it's not tangent inverse on the outside, it's tangent. So we have to think about is what's the domain of tangent inverse to do these problems. Okay, so the domain, guys, of tangent inverse is the same thing as the range of tangent. Because you remember for inverses, domain and range switch. So when we graph tangent, guys, what was the range? Say it louder. Negative infinity to infinity or all real numbers. Is this number a real number? Absolutely. So we like it when this is on the outside because this always exists. This is a real number. So what am I allowed to do with these expressions then? Let's cancel them. So this cancels. And we just get 4. Okay. Oops, JK. What's on the outside? Tangent. What's the domain of this guy? All real numbers. So what's going to happen to these? Cancel. So even though this is a huge number, tangent of arctangent of this number is just going to give me the number. So this cancels. So I just get 1,000. Okay. All right. Next example is something pretty simple because we're just going to use a calculator. All right, so just use your calculator, guys. Cosine inverse is second cosine. Since there's no degree symbol in these problems, which mode should our calculator be in? Radians. Okay, so what do we get to two places? I can't hear you. 0.51. And that's all you have to do. Cool. Do you have your calculator? Do you have anything? You have a pencil? Sweet. What do we get for this one? 64? Cool. All right. And we're okay. Ask you guys to do tangent. It'd be the same thing, right? You guys give me just 1 second. Okay, we only have one more example, but let me print something just real quick. Rodrigo, can you take this? The one that got messed up. All right, so in this chapter, you guys will learn how to solve equations. So this is kind of like an introduction to that. Okay. So I want to get x by itself, so what should I do first? What? Divide both sides by 3. So I'm going to get sine inverse of x is equal to pi over 3. Now, if I want to get x by itself, what will cancel sine inverse? Sine. So I'm going to take the sine of both sides. I'm going to slide this over. So I'm going to do sine. So the sine inverse and the sine cancel. So x is equal to, just keep in mind, this is something that you wouldn't be able to use a calculator for on a test. What's the sine of pi over 3? Square root 3 over 2. Okay, remind me when I'm done with this next problem. How many of you guys have flashcards that I asked you guys to make? 1, 2, exactly. 3, exactly. 4? Okay. I have a deck of cards on Quizlet that I can share with you guys that's digital. You guys need to know these by heart, okay? Like if I ask you guys, what's the tangent of 5 pi over 3? I want you guys to tell me it's negative square root 3. I need you guys to know that right away, okay? B. I don't remember what B is. Hold on. I want to say it's 3 times something. Yes, 3 cosine inverse of 2x is equal to 2 pi. So what's my first step I should do? Divide by 3. So cosine inverse of 2x is equal to 2 pi over 3. How do I get rid of cosine inverse? Take the cosine of both sides. So cosine and cosine inverse cancel. So I'm left with 2x is equal to the cosine of 2 pi over 3, right? Now, what I really just want you guys to be comfortable with is if you guys just don't have all the unit circle memorized, can you at least memorize the first quadrant? What is the cosine of pi over 3? What? It should be a half, okay? But since it's 2 pi over 3, do you guys agree 2 pi over 3 still has a pi over 3 in the number, right? If the cosine of pi over 3 is a half, 2 pi over 3, do you guys agree is in quadrant 2? What do I know about cosine in quadrant 2? It is negative. So this is just negative 1/2, okay? So this is going to be 2x is equal to negative 1/2. Divide both sides by 2 to cancel the 2. And then, do you guys agree dividing by 2 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/2? So x is equal to negative 1/4.